Hey, what's up, guys? This is Andrew Smersek with Combat Art Training. I'm here today with Jared Reston. We just did basic red dot pistol, and I wanted to kind of introduce you guys to Jared if you haven't already seen his videos. You've done a lot of stuff with primary and secondary.
I've done a lot with primary and secondary, surefire field notes, and just kind of, everything out there.
And then, actually, I realized, because I was like, man, I gotta watch some videos before I do this video.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I actually saw your video with John Lovell, way back when.
Oh, too. Yeah.
But anyways, so today, our class today was very skills based.
Yes.
Very heavy on the skills, but one of the things to me that I loved was the mindset that was added into it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to put that in, you got to get people's mind right, and even to delve into the skills to really hammer it. Like, not everything about a day on the range is fun. It's about like putting in work and really doing and getting better at your performance.
Mm-hmm. It has purpose, and one of the other cool things too is I'll be honest, like, I hate shot timers. I hate them. I'm not good at them.
Right.
Right. So, but I had one of my students took this class, and I was supposed to come with, but I didn't schedule it correctly. But he told me about everything. I was like, oh, dude, that sounds awesome. And then one of the things I found cool today was, like, we were doing stuff on a shot timer, but you were real about it. Like, we weren't trying to get like the .05 draw.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, because at that point it's just becoming an exhibition shooter, right? You're learning you're learning a drill, or you're learning something, and it's just, you're pushing so fast that it's just not practical. And like I talked about earlier, you might work for that really fast and shooting a big target or shooting steel or something like that just for an Instagram video of, like, pretty much anybody can fucking hit it. It's just fast about getting it out, but you're just setting yourself up for failure when it comes to, like, real life.
Yeah, and the other big thing I see you mention on primary and secondary, but controlling your cadence.
Yes.
So, like, the way you phrase is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A little bit faster. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. That's about 0.27, 0.31 second splits, which is plenty fast enough to fucking get it. And what we do is we purposely take it off shot to shot split times. So it's going to add it target to target split time. So it's going to make you faster target to target, because meat moves when you shoot it. So you're always going to be shooting a mover. Like, this isn't, I don't train to shoot a competition or anything or shoot paper. It's kind of, my training is morphed into almost, I need to always be thinking about movers.
Yeah, people fighting back.
Right. And then you look at like Rob Latham, some of the best shooters, like fastest shooters in the world. Watch him at the Bianchi Cup, shooting like the mover going across. They're slow, nice, good cadences, keeping it right, working that gun, because it's a small target and it's moving. The human body's a big target, but the kill zone on a human is actually a pretty small target zone. So I really need to dial it in and get those hits.
And one of the things too that really resonated with me, that I was like, thank God someone is saying it. You did a video with primary and secondary. You mentioned in one of your fights, like, I think it was your first round, hit an artery on him, right?
Yes.
And, but...
I don't know if it was my first or what, but it did hit him. It did put his lights out, or would have put his lights out over time, but that's the difference in pumpers and switches, right? Hit him in the artery, he's bleeding out. He wouldn't have made it, you couldn't have put rescue on him. I wouldn't have been able to put a breath in him. There was no fixing him. But he got about 8 seconds of life left, and he chose to keep fighting. And that's just kind of how it is. So you just got to keep it up the fight sometimes until they expire.
And that's one of the things I was talking about with the mindset that's in the classes, which is super important. Is like, guys go out, they take classes, and like, hey, do a skills class, do your medical class, do your tactics class, do it all. Find the best shit in there. Get that right.
Yeah.
But specifically with that mindset, okay, so sorry, sometimes I go off track, but all right, so lots of times people talk about, oh, well, I use this caliber, or like these rounds or whatever.
That shit don't matter. I mean, it's not, I'm not saying like it doesn't matter. It does matter. There is terminal velocity and different things, but bad shots with great ammo is still a bad shot,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you just got to get the good shots and make it work for you.
And even when you have the good shot,
Yeah.
they can keep fighting,
Yeah.
and you can keep fighting.
Oh yeah, like that's the thing is, speaking from experience, bullets don't hurt to get shot. Like it didn't hurt when I got shot. It hurt 5 minutes later, but like, you know what I mean? But it's very easily to fight through.
Yeah.
Like, so when I got hit, my first round hit me right through my jaw and exited out my neck. And then I got hit 3 more times in the chest, 1 through my thigh, 1 in my butt, and 1 in my arm. I couldn't tell you when any of those happened. It's just, so your body's going to protect you. Just stay in the fight. If you can think and move and fight, frickin' do it.
And didn't you say once that it felt like a simunition round?
Not in my face. The first one felt like a punch.
Okay.
But like getting shot is kind of eerily like simunitions. Like, so if you ever do like force on force training, like you'll get hit and then like you're like, I got hit right here in my shoulder. Then you'll go shower that night and you'll see like bruises on you that I didn't even know I got hit right there.
Yeah.
And so it's just like that. Like it's just like your body's gonna go protecting you, and just let it do its thing so you can do yours.
Yeah. Like I'm so grateful that you shared your story with everyone.
Yeah.
For real. Like people need to hear that. You know what? One of the other things talking about in class today is like, I've been to classes before and heard first or secondhand from others too. They'll go to a class and like, for instance, an entry concealed carry class.
Yeah.
Lots of times the instructor is trying to scare them out of taking action.
Yeah.
Right. Like, for instance, you know, like you don't know what it's like to shoot someone, or you know.
It's fucking easy. It's easy to shoot somebody. So don't. No. Don't. But I mean, it's easy. I mean, because here's the deal: the hard ones are to shoot are the decision making to shoot.
Yeah.
Pulling a trigger on a person, and it's not like, oh my god, I'm gonna shoot a person. It's not that. It's like, all right, they're doing this, but it hasn't really got to that. But like when you're in that thing, when you had a chance to take the shot and you were legally able to take the shot and you didn't, and then something happens. Like that's like you let it get out of hand. Like those are the hard shots to make. Mm-hmm. So to me, I got enough stuff to worry about. My skill level shouldn't be what to worry about. It's just, you know, just because I can, should I, or just because I can I make that shot? So like those are the things that you want to be thinking about. Not, oh my God, how do I get this out of the holster?
Yeah, right. That like that shit should take care of itself.
Yes.
Like it'd be like I need a gun now, and
just whatever button you push, that's going to activate that plan.
Yeah, it was. He said something earlier too. I wish I had written it down, but it was about like, you know, when you get that reload, it shouldn't be your brain has to go through a process.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't be OODA looping.
Right. You shouldn't be thinking about how that works. It just should be activate, program, reload, and then your body does it. Right.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how it should go. You shouldn't be running how to actually do it until like that's what the skill side of things are. Is you got to rep those skills. So just almost not. Not what the hell. I'm trying to think of the word. Like what you're
buffering.
No, like what the hell? Like not like on autopilot.
Yeah.
But just initiate it and it'll go. Like that kind of deal.
Like subconsciously.
Yeah, it shouldn't be subconscious of it going. You should just activate the plan and the plan goes. Like that's what I mean. Like it's not gonna be like I need to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you need to think about a reload and like am I reloading or is it a malfunction? What is it? Now let's activate that plan instead of just feeling it, then going to a reload and realize it was a malfunction, and then you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And then you're behind the curve even further.
Yeah.
So you just dig yourself a deeper hole. So like those are the things that just recognizing what needs to happen and putting that plan in the go time. So
right on. Yeah. So now some of the things we did, like, okay, so the mindset, like, man, it's awesome to hear stuff like that.
Oh, thank you.
And other side that we worked on heavily was skills, like B8s out to 25, which is another thing I hate. But it was awesome dialing it in and really seeing what
it does at the 7. Like, you know what I mean? Like what shooting 25-yard B8s only makes it, when you step up to 7, you're like almost gives you that confidence of like, I can't miss. This target is so big let me sit here and do this. And it teaches you what you can get away with, because you can't get away with really anything at the 25. But that's where you start, you know, rounding edges and getting a little faster and figuring out what you need to do. Because, I mean, you got to have the skills, right? So because first off, there's a lot of luck in gunfights, right? That the bullet doesn't hit something vital, it doesn't do something. So there's a lot of luck. Mindset's going to help you take advantage of that luck and stay in the fight. But your skills is what's going to take you over the top to win the fight, right? And it's about winning. It's not about surviving it. It's about winning it, because the quickest way to stop a fight is killing him. And putting them down, and that's only going to happen through good hits. The purpose of fighting is to win. Yes.
And like something else that you said, and I'm like, thank you, was we don't want to train and practice for the average.
Right. Yeah. Right. So like everyone will say, well, I only do 7 yards. I only do this because that's going to be the average. 90% of things like that. That's true, but you need to really look and delve deep into it instead of using that as an excuse to keep yourself at 5 yards. And look at some of the outliers, right? Some of these shootings are happening at 50, 60, 25, right? Yeah. You can find 25 yards in any freaking grocery store down a hall or down an aisle or something.
Parking lot.
Yeah. So you're going to find it. So look at these outlier shooters and train for the outliers. And that's how you want to be.
And it gives you confidence too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, because not all shootings are scary. Everybody wants to make it out to be that a shooting is always going to be like, give me your money. And like, it's always like this. It might not be. Like, it might be that you're across a parking lot and you see someone getting robbed, or you see someone almost going to take someone's life, and now I got to shoot. It's not scary for you. It's scary for the person that they're after, but not scary for you. So you just come out, implement your skills, and do work.
Yep. And even with that too, because like, you mentioned, people talk about the 3 seconds, 3 feet, or sometimes people say yards and 3 shots. Yeah. Really, that has nothing to do with hitting the target. No. Like, I mean, you've done a lot of like ground fighting and stuff too. Yes. So, I mean, that's where that comes in, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, now, as far as that goes, what do you suggest people train on for that? Like, where do you like to go?
I like boxing. Like,
boxing?
I just because it helps me stay on my feet. So like in my shooting, I played football all the way up through college, and then I started doing like MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu kind of stuff. So I was comfortable on the ground fighting, which isn't probably the best when you're armed, right? Like keep creating some distance and doing some things, putting your skills like a little bit of separation, because it may have made a little bit of a difference in my shooting. Like when I was fighting a dude like this close and trying to get him to the ground, where I never even saw him produce the pistol. Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. But I do like boxing because it keeps you on your feet, keeps separation, it keeps you working and things like that, rather than being super comfortable with going to the ground. Now I also take that you need to do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because sometimes it's not about going to the ground or not going to the ground. You just end up on the ground. So it's one of those things. So like you still need to be comfortable there too.
Yeah, those outliers. I always say, like, people say like, oh well, I would do this and that, and I'm like, they always think of a best case scenario. Right. What's the worst case scenario?
Yeah. It could just be simply you slipping on the ground and then he jumps on top of you. Whatever it is. Like it's not. It's just that's the nature. It's just good things. Shit happens.
No, and especially like. One thing I was thinking about too with your fight where you got shot several times was like that did not start out as a gunfight.
No, it started out me chasing a shoplifter. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it wasn't anything crazy. It just, that's where like flipping your switch and training comes into it. If the last time you trained or the last time you were on the range and really doing something was, at requals 6 months ago or years ago of really doing training, and you got to start searching your brain and knocking off cobwebs and blowing dust off to get that program running. Yeah. Or like an old Nintendo game, like sticking it in to get it to work. Right. You're gonna die. Yeah. Like that's the deal. You train for the fight, and being able to flip that switch and go from chasing a shoplifter to now killing the person who's trying to murder you. Yeah. So that's how it's got to go.
Right on. So now talk about your training company. So I chose this class because I specifically want to get good at red dot pistol. Right. I wanted a skills-based class because I don't really do stuff with shot timers. Yep. And the V8s. I was like, that sounds really challenging.
Yes.
And so I wanted that. For new shooters, for your training classes, what do you want them to take?
I mean, pretty much I want them to take kind of any, like, you should start with like the basics before like you come to someone like me or pay like other instructors in the business, because you need to have like the fundamentals of safety and things kind of already ingrained in you a little bit. So then once you have that, let's say like that driver's ed level training, now we're going to teach you how to race a car, and we're going to teach you how to like shave some things, but you need to know the base rules before you come to one of us, or you're not, we're going to put so much stuff at you, you're going to be like, you know, overloaded, and it's just like you're done by lunch. You know?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
Okay. All right. Right on. And then what is so I've heard a little bit in your other interviews, but what drove you to start your own company, train people?
So after that shooting, we talked about where I was shot. That happened in 2008. Roughly 2009ish, I started traveling the country and like doing debriefs and speaking at different tactical conferences, and then just different agencies. And I kind of was naive that I thought like everybody was trained like I was trained. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went around, and a lot of law enforcement, a lot of civilians, a lot of people just, they didn't have like a good solid training. And it's not that there weren't anybody else out there, but I wanted to put out like what I think was good for police and like civilian stateside, like, you know what I mean, and see what happens. And because I mean there is a difference in military and overseas and just like ROEs and different stuff and what you can do. Like, so like with me being on the Jacksonville SWAT team, we're well funded, well supported. You know, I've had really great training and I've had some really crappy training. So like, you know what I mean? But like, so just building a program and almost coaching. Like I still coach my kids in football. I like the coaching aspect and like, and just relaying things to people and like seeing that light bulb go off. That's what kind of makes me happy. Is like when I see people be like, oh, that's what it is. All right. And that's why I do this, just to make people better. So to me, hopefully you get to me at a younger age, like early in your career, because I want to make you a better shooter sooner. Like instead of like going to all these crappy classes or whatever and then building yourself up to like, oh, this is what I'm. So, I mean, I'm not saying my Kung Fu's better than your karate or whatever, but it's just, I think we've put together a good program to get people better sooner.
Yes. Show, purpose train. Show people what they need to practice, right?
Yep.
You know, and then that's how we all get better. Awesome, man.
All right.
So, all right, outside of work. Also, guys, I don't want to talk about the price of the class because it can always change in the future.
Yeah.
Very, very nicely priced classes too. And long day, we shot all. We worked hard on fundamentals, and then we sped it up and working on getting our skills faster, maintaining accuracy, improving accuracy, and we also shot at night, which is a fantastic opportunity.
Yeah.
We're up here in St. Augustine at Ancient City Shooting Range. Great facility. I'm super thrilled to be here. I've always wanted to check it out. But yeah, for real, you want to check out his website and you want to see what he's got going on. There's Airbnbs all around here.
Oh yeah, St. Augustine's, it's a great place to train. I mean, literally this Ancient City range is great. I mean, literally every month, some of the top trainers are here. Like top trainers around the country are here. Like Kyle DeFore was here last week. You know, like there's always somebody in St. Augustine, and it's just a great place to come visit. And you can like bring your wife and kids for something them to do while you're out training. So it kind of gets you out of the house a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, it's just a beautiful place to come and train.
Awesome. So outside of work, what do you like to do?
Man, outside of work, I mean, I really don't do anything but work. No, I like shooting guns and things. That's my hobby. Like, so I like, that's what I tinker with. That's what I mess around. I like guns and gear and things like that. And this is it's not work to me. Like that's fun to me. Like so this is fun.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
right.
Hey. Anything else you want to let them know before we close out the video?
No, guys. Hit us up on the website restongrouptraining.com, or follow us on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. Give us a follow and check out what we got going on.
Right on. I'm gonna put all that in the description too.
All right.
So yeah, thank you so much.
Right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for shooting this video. Thank you for your time.
Hey, no problem, bro. That's easy
All right.
day.
All right, guys.
All right. See ya.
Take care. Remember that training saves lives.